Hello dear students, in today's video we are going to discuss about a new chapter that is called force. So we might be already aware of what is force. Suppose if someone pushes you or pulls you in and out, so your position will change from one place to another place. And similarly we can see take a simple example. Suppose if you take a notebook and if it is kept on the table, suppose if you apply force, what will happen? The book will move in the direction of the force applied. So force is a necessary thing that is essential for these kind of changes, and especially in this chapter we will discuss mainly about force and pressure. So how can we define force? Force can be defined as a push or pull on an object. So you may have seen bullock carts. The bullocks are pulling the cart. So in all these situations, suppose if your mom is making chapati, so mom usually needs that dough. So in order to make that particular chapatis. So these are all we can see the situations in which force comes into play. And similarly we can see force is defined as a push or pull on an object. Similarly you can see when you're playing football, you're kicking the ball, and similarly when you kick the ball towards the goalkeeper, he will collect the ball, and in all these situations what happens, you are applying force. And similarly if you want to walk on the floor, so you need to exert force on the floor so that you can move forward. So these are all certain situations that you are familiar with. So force makes things to move, or in order to stop a moving object. So these are some of the effects of force. Now slowly we will discuss. Then in all these situations we can see that there exists some kind of interaction. So when force comes into play, there exists some kind of interaction between two objects. Suppose if you kick a football, your leg comes in contact with the football. See, now let us look at this particular situation. See, here I have drawn a box. So imagine, suppose if I am applying a force along this direction, and simultaneously I am applying one more. I am pushing this particular box with my both hands in the forward direction. So just for an example, if we consider, if I can exert 5 Newton force, you may have a doubt what is called this 5 Newton. So 5 is the magnitude of the force, how much amount of force you are applying onto this particular object, and Newton is the SI unit of force. And similarly, suppose, so what will happen if you push an object with both hands in the same direction? So what will happen? The object may tend to move in the forward direction. Suppose in that situation what happens? The force will get added. Suppose if we applied 5 Newton along this direction, if the same amount of force, again 5 more Newton, if I am applying along the same direction, these two forces will get added. And as a result, the resultant force will be 10 Newton. And similarly we can see, so it can bring motion to an object. Suppose at the same time, look at this particular figure. So if someone, suppose if two students are pulling a bench from opposite sides, or pushing a bench or desk from opposite side. Say one person, a student A, suppose if he is applying a force of 5 Newton to right side, and at the same time the student B applying a force of 5 Newton in the opposite side. So what can happen? The table will remain there itself. So that means what? If equal and opposite forces are applied from opposite sides, what will happen? These two forces will cancel each other. So as a result, the resultant force will become 0. So that's what we can see here. The 5 minus 5, 0. What is the reason? the resultant direction of the force, that means 5 Newton force you are applying along to the right side, or 5 Newton force from the opposite side you are applying to the left hand side. So as a result, these two forces will get cancelled each other. So as a result, the resultant force will become 0. So this can keep the object remain at rest, or it can also keep the object moving with the same speed. So, and the SI unit of force, what do you mean the SI unit of force? You can measure, suppose if your length, the height of an object, or a distance between two cities, these are measured in terms of kilometers or meters. So similarly force, the force can also be measured, and it can be measured in a unit called Newton. So you may know this particular famous scientist Isaac Newton. So from his name this particular unit is derived. And similarly 1 Newton is also is equal to 10 raised to 5 dynes. So this is the CGS system. In CGS system 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 dynes. In the next session we can discuss about the effects of force. So what are the effects of force? As you look around you, you can see that suppose if you keep an object stationary on the table, so if you apply a force, what will happen? It will change its state of rest, and it will start moving in the direction in which the force is applied. So the first effect of force is what? Change in the state of motion. Or what we can say, suppose if the object is moving in this particular direction, so what will happen? Suppose if you apply force in the opposite direction, this object can come to rest, or it can move in the opposite direction. So change in the state of motion or change in the state of rest. That means a force, if you apply a force onto an object, so it can, if the body is either at rest, if the body is at rest, this force can bring the object into motion, and at the same time it can change its speed also. Suppose say if an object is, suppose a car or something, if it is moving at a speed of say 40 km per hour, so if you apply more force, if you give acceleration, suppose, so what will happen? So that means more, you are applying more force. If you are applying more force, what will happen? The object will start moving with a higher speed. That means say 60 km per hour. So force is necessary in order to change the state of motion. Suppose it can be either at state of rest or state of uniform motion. And the second one, it can change the shape of an object. Say for example, you can see, suppose, take the example of this particular book. Suppose if you apply force from opposite side, what will happen? The book will bend. And similarly, many examples are there, just like kneading this particular floor in order to make chapati. And similarly, suppose if you take an example of a rubber band. So if you apply force on the rubber band, what will happen? It will stretch. Similarly, you can see many such examples. So if you take a small tennis ball and keep it between your hand, and if you press it, what will happen? The shape of the object will change. So that is the second effect of force. And the third one, change in speed. Change in speed. Suppose you might have played carom board. Is it? When you strike the carom with a force, great force, what will happen? It will move with greater speed. If you strike the carom, but particular coin with a less force, the speed of the coin will also be less. At the same time, you can see I have drawn a picture of that particular thing. What will happen? So if you apply force onto this carom, on this coin, what will happen? It will move. It will move with a certain speed. So after hitting onto the particular dashboard, what will happen? It can bounce back. So that means the fourth effect of the force, that is, it can change the direction of motion of an object. See what is happening while you strike the coin with a force. the coin will move forward, and after hitting on the edge of the board, what will happen? The edge of the board, it will hit the edge of the board with a force, and the edge of the board will apply the opposite force, apply the same amount of force back to the coin. As a result, the coin will reflect back, or it will turn back and changes its direction and start moving in the opposite direction. So these are some of the effects of force. So the first one, it can bring change in state of motion, either state of rest or state of uniform motion. Suppose if some take the example of football. Suppose if somebody kicks football towards you, so how will you stop that ball? You have to apply a force by using your leg. So a moving object can be brought to rest by using a force, or an object at rest can be moved by applying force. Then now we can discuss about different types of force. So in this session we are going to see force can be divided into two categories. One is called contact force and the next one is called non-contact force. So what do you mean by contact force? We already seen that force acts as a result of interaction between two objects. See, in certain situations contact forces comes into play. So especially muscular force. Say for example, if I want to write on this blackboard, so I need to exert my force, that means the muscular force. I need to exert. So the force that is exerted by using your muscles, that is known as muscular force, which is an example of contact force. Suppose if your hand comes in contact with the board or any object or pen, then only you can start writing over the board. Then second one is friction. So we will study in detail about friction in the next chapter. See, what do you mean by friction? Say, come to this particular example. Say, for example, carom board. While you play carom board, sometimes you will pour some powder over the board. So why do you pour powder over the board? In order to make the coins move nicely or easily over the carom board, is it? So if there is no powder, what will happen? The coins won't move that much easily. So while you apply some powder, the friction, actually the two surfaces, suppose if you rub your hand against each other, what will happen? After some time it will become warm. These are all happening as a result of, you can see your palm. So there are small grooves. So as you rub it against each other, what will happen? Heat energy will be produced. See, friction arises as a result of the relative motion between the two objects which are moving against each other in contact. Suppose if I want to move this particular book or this board, so what will happen? So it can move very easily. So the surface of the body is so smooth. So if it was rough, I won't be able to move the object so smoothly as it is. So frictional force, the force of friction. Actually the force of friction helps us to walk over the floor. And also you may find it difficult to walk over a smooth marble floor if there is water. So frictional force, it sometimes advantages and sometimes it is disadvantages. We will discuss it in the next chapter. And the next category of force, that is called non-contact forces. So in non-contact forces, number one comes gravitational force. Suppose if you drop any object, so it will fall towards the earth. So this is due to the force of gravity. The earth is attracting every object towards itself. And the second one is called magnetic force. So you won't see any particular interaction. So if you keep two magnets nearby, what can happen? Suppose North Pole and South Pole of a magnet, if you bring it somewhat closer to the North Pole and South Pole of another magnet, what will happen? From a fair distance, they will start attracting each other. So these forces, magnetic forces, these are also known as non-contact forces. So these two magnets, it is not necessary that these two magnets should come in contact, direct contact, so that they have to exert a force. But even from a fair distance, this magnet can exert a force on another magnet. You might have also seen iron nails. When kept nearby a magnet, what will happen? It will start getting attracted and it will stick to the magnet. So from a fair distance, this particular attraction, the force starts acting. So that's why it is known as non-contact force. And the last one is electrostatic force. See, you might have studied about positive and negative charges. So suppose if you take a battery, so there are two terminals, positive and negative terminals. So this electrostatic force that comes into play between oppositely charged charges or positively charged object or negatively charged object, or between two positively charged objects or two negatively charged objects. So what happens? Suppose if you bring one positive charge and near to one negative charge from a fair distance, they will start attracting each other. And at the same time, if you bring two positive charges together, they will repel each other. And if you bring two negative charges closer, they will also repel each other. So similarly, there is a case if you bring two north poles of a magnet, two north poles of two magnets closer, so they will also start repelling each other. So these are certain examples of types of forces. Mainly we can classify forces into contact forces and non-contact forces. And in contact forces, it comes muscular force, then friction. And in non-contact force comes gravitational force, magnetic force, and electrostatic force of attraction. So these are the main topics or main concepts that are essentially revised in this particular lesson, and the remaining part, that is about pressure, that we will discuss in the next video. Just revise it well. If in one go, if you couldn't understand, just you repeat this particular session, revise, watch the video again and again, so that till you get understood this particular topic. Okay, study well and stay safe. Thank you.